Welcome back to Pickleball for All. I'm Jeff Brune, alongside with our resident pickleball expert, Cooper. Cooper, how's it going, man?
Good.
Awesome. Great. Awesome. Well, we're excited about today's episode. It's everything tournaments, the tournament edition. So we're going to talk about preparation, fuel, what to expect in a tournament. So I think it's going to be a great episode. You just played in a huge tournament.
Right. Biggest for the MLP format, team events,
right.
The Dink Minor League, Pickleball National Championships.
So those that don't know, tell us what MLP means.
Well, MLP is a style of pickleball that the pros play, where you have 2 men and 2 women on a team. It's a team of 4, and you play a series of games to determine the winner of a match.
Okay.
Whereas in a standard pickleball match, you would have a set doubles partner, or you would play singles, and you may do it best 2 out of 3 or just one game in a round robin series. This is a lot more of a team sport, and you're relying on not just yourself and your close partner's skill set, but you're relying on everyone else to be at the top of their game, and relying on different factors like who can handle certain shots and opponent matchups and all sorts of things. So,
interesting.
I think what makes it the most interesting thing about it is it's all set off a maximum DUPR ranking. So your rating is totaled into a max DUPR set. So DUPR 16s, DUPR 14s, DUPR 18s is a total of 4 players on a team.
Total of all their DUPRs combined.
Right.
I see.
And
okay.
There's a maximum for that team entry that's allowed, and then individually there's also a maximum up to you get up to your 20s and 22s, which are 5.0. They take the max off at that point.
Well, ironically, it's a perfect setup to in the next few episodes we're going to talk everything DUPR, so it'll be good to go into that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, interesting. So how'd you guys do? How'd your team do?
we placed we made it to the round of 16 in a field of, I think there were 35, 36 teams in our pool.
From all over the country.
In our
They're from
division.
all over the world, right?
Yeah, we had specifically in the round robin day, which was Saturday. So the way this tourney was formatted, we had round robin play on Saturday, and on Sunday everybody makes it to playoffs. So everybody gets submitted into the playoff bracket. You get seeded based off of how you did Saturday.
Okay.
And Saturday we had our first team we played was from Italy.
Really?
Yeah. And Italy has just blown up for pickleball over there.
Were they talking trash to you in Italian?
No.
Or actually, you probably don't even know.
They were actually the most friendly team out of anybody there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
They had the best camaraderie and team spirit that we saw out of the whole thing. We got pictures with them and befriended them pretty quickly. And
excellent.
And it's great to see all these different countries participating in what we have as nationals here in the U.S.
Right. The name of this podcast is Pickleball for All, and that means pickleball for everybody all over the world.
Right.
Whatever your economic background is, whatever. So it's Pickleball for All.
Yeah, and the teams that I saw, I know there were a lot of Asian teams there, but we had the two ones that stuck out to me the most were the Puerto Rican team in 14s and the Italian team in 16s for me, just because we got to experience that play, and I got to watch the Puerto Ricans play, and they were phenomenal.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is it a different style that they play? Can you tell a difference if they're from a place like Italy? Are they bangers? Going back to previous episodes, are they more bangers? Are they more lobbers? Are they?
I was wondering if because paddle, or it's paddle, it's said wrong.
Sure.
Is over there where you play in that glass box atmosphere. That's very popular over
huge
in Europe.
in Europe.
So I almost wondered if that was going to factor into how they play. I didn't really see anything that told me that they would play a certain way. Sometimes you can tell a tennis player from their form or their skill set, the way they hit the ball.
Do you try, as a tournament player, to watch upcoming opponents? When you see a team playing, you're like, that's the Italian team. We're playing them next. Do you go over and watch and try to pick up on some of their tendencies and that kind of stuff?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes it's the first thing we're thinking about as soon as the match is over. If we have 10, 15 minutes to go run over and get on court 6 and watch our next opponent play. And that ended up actually helping us a bit. In pool play, we had The Italian team ended up being our weakest opponent, and then we had the next two teams we played were absolute studs. We had one that was a minor league team from Denver, and then another minor league team, which was the Austin Farmers, which I'm pretty sure, I may be wrong about this, but I think their major league team is they're in D2 on the MLP tour.
Okay.
So, but that was their minor league team, and they had some great players. They had one guy that was, we played against him in men's. Me and Lincoln played against him in the men's match, and he was 6'6", 270 pounds, just monster. And we couldn't do anything about hitting it high to him or driving it to him. He could just handle all of it, and he was just as fast as the shorter players.
And also, speaking of like Pickleball for All, you mentioned his name, but your playing partner on your team is 16 years old. 16,
may have turned 17 just recently, but yes, very young, and he's probably one of the best players I've seen play in that division for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So let's talk about tournament prep. So when you're getting ready for a tournament, what types of things are you doing? Certain drills with your team? Are you, with any sports, you want to focus on your nutrition and your hydration and that kind of stuff. So what do you do to get ready for a tournament? So let's say the week before, the month before, the day before.
I think months leading up to it, if you have that much time, like nationals, we knew way ahead of time that it was going to happen and we were going to be a part of it. So I think for me, it was just mainly getting in as many right play games as I could in that style and doing it at that point style, because the big difference between MLP format and standard is the scoring.
Sure.
And, they changed this in the pros, but in the amateurs, it's still rally scoring to 21. So
explain that a little bit.
Well, it ends up evening out quite a bit, but because of the style, it seems like the games are a little bit longer, and you have much more of a chance to catch up with your opponent than in a standard to 11. Because if your opponent makes a mistake, you get a point.
Correct. So every time there's a quote point, you're getting a point instead of it just changing the ball changing possession.
Correct. Right. Every rally is a point.
Right.
For the opposing team or your team, depending on if you fault or finish the point. But I think the most interesting about that is there's no point in a to 21 game rally scoring where you think you're pulling ahead enough to win that game.
Right.
Like there was a game we played against the Austin Farmers team, and it was me and Lincoln, and we went down 14-20, and we ended up coming back all the way and winning the thing 23-21.
Oh wow!
So there's you can be down in single digits, and if you just figure it out, take a timeout, figure out what skill sets you can manipulate in the next series, then you can turn it around pretty quick, especially if your opponent gets that winner's fatigue where they feel like they're about to take it, and they might slow down a little bit, and that's usually your time to strike.
So speaking of taking a timeout and talking to your playing partner, how important in tournament play, really just any play, is communication between you and your playing partner? I mean, what do you talk before a match and say, okay, this is the game plan. We're going to attack that person there, and we're going to try to go at his left side or whatever. So
I would
tell
say
us about that.
Communication is paramount, especially in that style of the sport, and being able to talk through in the few minutes you're given, because I mean these refs and these national events or even just high level events are they're very pushy on getting the time to go smoothly. So they want to give you a couple minutes to start games, and you get a couple minute warm ups. So utilizing those times the best you can, and not just sitting there and dinking aimlessly, silent, not talking to your partner, that can play in your opponent's favor, especially if your team isn't, like our team specifically was Connie from Lexington, Kentucky, Sarah Darling from Paducah, and Lincoln Beester from Peoria, and me from Cape. So although we've played a lot of games together, we all live in different areas. So
it's hard for you to get some practice in.
Yep. So us getting on site and we already know each other really well. So immediately getting on site and seeing who's improved where and talking through certain strategies, and all of that was part of the game before the game even started, for sure.
Interesting.
Yep.
So are you I briefly mentioned it before. Are you intentional about your nutrition and your hydration before? you probably want to be more.
I probably want to be, yes. I'm definitely intentional about electrolytes.
Okay.
That's for sure. I do not play well if I don't have good electrolytes in my body. So before I play and in between games, I'm always hydrating. I keep the packets with me. I try to eat a big breakfast beforehand, but
right.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things I've seen, you play a lot of tournaments. The biggest thing I've seen at the factory is tournament hesitation, because they think that, oh, I'm not a tournament player. Like I just play rec. I'm not good enough to play in a tournament. I mean, what do you tell people like that?
I don't know. I'm iffy on. I kind of go both ways on this. I want people to encourage people to get into tournaments because you can only get better at them if you play in them. But I think there's differences in tournaments. There's your DUPR rated tournaments that affect your rating, and if you're wanting to become a better player through that, I would highly discourage you to jump into those immediately and try to find some of these local tournaments that aren't DUPR rated.
Right.
Get into as many of those as you can.
As we call the factory, social tournaments.
Right, social tournaments, and get the nerves out. Become a better tournament player, because it's a completely different game from rec play.
Right.
The nerves you feel in pickleball or any racket sports is it's so much more than you think it is before you jump into it.
Right.
And then once you've built that comfortability, then find what skill set you're at and jump into it at the DUPR level, for sure.
And speaking of tournaments at the factory,
yeah,
we've got one coming up, right?
Got one coming up. We're going to call it the Pickle Bowl. It's going to be the weekend right before the Super Bowl.
Excellent.
And it's going to be my favorite format, the MLP format. We're going to do all your divisions. We'll do 12 through 18, and for 14 through 18, we'll also do 50-plus division.
Awesome.
So we're going to have that rolling out, and we'll also have an open for anybody above that 18 that wants to challenge themselves at what would be 5.0 plus play.
And so it's cash money?
Cash money.
Cash money prizes. Awesome.
Yep. We'll do first place will be $600, second place $400, and third place $200. And plan on, if we get enough people in each division, we might do a bigger prize for the open play division. And then we're looking at trying to get as many teams as we can. I'm setting a 10 team cap on those divisions, but I would love to get 6 or more in there.
Awesome. Well, I got to start practicing then.
Yeah,
I got to play.
We need you in 14s, Jeff.
There you go. Right. Well, that was the tournament stuff is a great insight, and so. But if you've got other topics that you want us to address, just send us an email at info@picklecape.com. But we appreciate everybody tuning in. We're excited about this podcast and what it's going to take on. But, pickleball is a great sport because anybody can learn to play. Because here at the factory, it is pickleball for all. We'll see you next time.